Hi, I wanted to talk to you guys about online classes, and that's probably why you're going to see two videos of me wearing the same outfit. I know sometimes that seems kind of annoying, but I really wanted to hurry up and get this video up for you guys. Online classes are getting really popular. You can get certificates online, you can get degrees online, and it is all reputable. I remember when I was younger, like in my 20s, and I started hearing about online classes, I was a little iffy about them. It's just kind of like those work from home programs. Like, you know, there are some jobs you can do from home, but sometimes when you see them pop up on the side of like your Facebook page, you just know that a lot of them are scams. These are not scams. Some of the most reputable colleges out there are offering classes online. For instance, the school that I go to, actually I've done online courses with two schools, and both of those schools were just your average brick and mortar schools. So the reason why I chose online was because both of the schools that I wanted to go to were over an hour away. One was probably about an hour and 45 minutes away, and the other one I think is about an hour and 15 minutes, and I don't drive. So it would have been really hard to get to school and back. I did a lot of research, but nothing prepared me for what I was about to encounter when actually doing the online classes. So I just wanted to give you guys some tips on how to get through them and the differences and things, so you'll be more prepared. So basically, when I first did them, I did two classes thinking that two didn't seem that bad. I kind of wish I had just taken one, since I didn't find videos like this. I looked up online. There were some people that just said that they were harder, but they didn't really go into detail. So I wasn't quite prepared for how much time it actually took up, and I did those classes over the summer. After that, I did like 3 classes in fall, and then I just did like almost an entire year, actual year, not just school year, but actual year of classes. So, okay, the first thing is, I'm going to tell you how it all works. I don't know if every single school goes through what is called Blackboard. Blackboard is like a program or a website you just kind of sign into. And Blackboard also has a phone app. I have it on my phone, but my school doesn't use the app, so I can't sign into it yet. I'm hoping they'll start using the app sometime this year just to make it a little bit easier. Sorry, there's sirens going off. So, yeah. So then you go to this website and you sign into it with, I think, your school ID and then a password. And it looks similar to any other social networking website. There's things on either side, and then down the middle, or at least this is how it's been for me, down the middle you'll see links. So like if you take 4 classes, you'll see 4 links, and it will each go to one of your classes. So say you're taking, I don't know, creative writing. You would click on the creative writing link, and it would just take you to this whole new page that has everything for your class in it. It will have mail, so you can send emails through it. It will have the syllabus of the class. Sometimes it will have calendars, and it all also depends on how much your professor fills out. Sometimes they don't fill everything out. The syllabus should always be there. I've never had it not be there. But with the calendar, there was a lot of things that weren't filled out in the calendars. In the syllabus, sometimes it will tell you, like if there's big projects due, it will tell you those dates. I would always print out the syllabus to a class. My math classes have been pretty simple in the sense that everything is just so mapped out right there, and the math for me has been go at your own pace. Nothing else has really been go at your own pace. For math, you could go way ahead, or you could go a little bit behind what is scheduled, but I would never go, actually most of my classes I would never go behind. And even in math I wouldn't, but if you had to for whatever reason, like there was a little bit of slack there, I guess, and those are the only classes that had that type of slack. So, sorry, let me adjust myself. I'm sitting on my foot. Other than that, your classes are going to have the syllabus that you're probably going to want to print up. If you can't print it up at your house, maybe you could ask them for a copy, or you could print it up at the library or at a friend's house. I wouldn't really sign into anything personal at the library, so a friend's house might be best. Other than that, that's the best thing that you can do, and I'm going to talk to you about like school supplies that you're probably going to need, so I'm going to bring up the syllabus again later. Other than that, one thing that makes online classes really hard, and this was told to me by a friend. I have a friend who went to college right out of high school. He just finished his master's, and he's just turned 30 years old this year. And for his master's, he did some online classes, and he said that it was actually double the work. I haven't really been to any brick and mortar like colleges just yet. That's where I'm hoping to transfer to, but I haven't really done that myself yet, so I couldn't really have anything to compare it to. I knew the work was a lot than like high school or, you know, junior high, elementary, things like that, but I would expect that anyways. But he said no, he said that it was legit double the work, and he explained why, and his classes were so similar to mine in both of my schools that's why I'm relaying this information onto you guys. So say you have a book for, I don't know, an English class that you have to read different stories, or like a short story, or do different tasks that are in the book. Basically what you'll do is you'll probably have to read that story and write like a paragraph about it or something and post that paragraph to your class. So the way you would do that is through a discussion forum, and this is where it gets really hard. You have to be really, really good at managing your time doing online courses, because there's no set, you have to be in the classroom at this time this day, you have to be in the classroom at this time this day, and so on. You need to figure that out for yourself, because since you have to post something to the discussion forum, if you have one class saying you have to post to the discussion forum by Wednesday, but then you have to reply to 3 of your classmates' posts by Friday, and then you have a test that is due by Sunday, that really makes it hard to manage, especially when you have other classes that are doing something very similar, saying, you know, you need to post by Tuesday and reply to your classmates by Thursday and a test by Saturday or Sunday, and it gets really confusing, and you really, really need to manage that, and that's what makes it double the work. Is if you're in a classroom, you might get called on and you might not, so you don't really have to say something about like a bunch of students' work. So it does get tough when you have to pay attention to all of that. That's why one of the things I think that you should buy, I'm going to put up a list at the end of this video, and I'll put it in the description bar, or maybe I'll just put it in the description bar, of things that I think that you need. What's happening over there? Of things that I think that you need for online courses. One of them is a student planner or agenda book. That is imperative, because that's what helped me get through. Before I had that, I was actually like all over the place, and it was kind of scary. I did fine in my classes, thankfully, but other than that, like, no, I could not do it without my student planner, and that will also kind of make it more fun. Another thing that you're going to need are notebooks. Notebooks for taking notes for some courses, and for math, like if you're doing math and you need just like paper to do out the work, you could use plain paper for that. One thing that you could do is get a 3-ring binder and just fill it with blank paper and spacers for each class, and put like the syllabus before each class. That would make it really, really, I guess, like really easy when knowing like what's supposed to be done and having it all laid out. But I would still use like the planner as well, because there's going to be dates and things that you're going to need in front of you at almost all times. Also pens, pencils, Post-its, so you can post things on your computer to remind you that you need to take a test that day. You know, whiteout, things like that are all things that I got that have been very, very helpful to me. I'm trying to think of if there's anything else that you guys should know about. Get familiar with Blackboard. Click on every link and just look around at everything. Sometimes when you take tests, you can only click on it once and you cannot go back to the test. Sometimes you'll get, there was one class I had where I had like 2 chances to get the best grade possible in a test. So sometimes you'll have that, but usually once you start a test, you can't go back to it. Like, you can't just click out and then go back. And I'm trying to think of what else there is. I think the mail, like when you're writing an email, don't write it too quickly. Pay attention and make sure that you're sending it to the right person. That's another issue that I've noticed on there. Another thing that I didn't really like, well, another thing, because I can't say another thing. I didn't really say anything I didn't really like. But one thing that I don't really like is when they have you do group projects. And a friend mentioned this, that same friend mentioned this as well, was when you're trying to do a group project, sometimes you can't get a hold of everybody in your group. For instance, I had a group project that was due in my race and ethnic relations class, and there was 8 of us. There was only 3 or 4 of us communicating for a while. There was only 3 of us communicating, then a 4th came in and was communicating. And they were all really nice, and he was really nice, but you could tell he was trying to find a way almost out of it, but trying to contribute because he wanted to contribute, and it's school. I don't know, it's hard to explain. But it was really hard to get him to do the work, and then at the very last minute, literally like the day it was due, somebody else came in and tried to contribute, and our team leader, she had already sent everything in. But your grade is going to be their grade as well. So they did no work, but yet they'll still get like an A or a B or whatever grade you got. I didn't have the problem of being graded on what wasn't turned in, because the professor said that she realized that the group projects probably wasn't a good idea for an online class. So she was only going to grade us on what was turned in. And she knew who contributed and who didn't. With my friend, it wasn't so much that way. He did all of the work, and like everybody got that grade, and his grade was less because of what wasn't turned in by the other participants in the group project. So that's one thing that kind of sucked. I like online courses because you are in the comfort of your own home, but I would turn everything off. I would turn off the television, I would turn off the radio. One thing that was cool was you can get up and go to the bathroom anytime you want. You have your snacks. Also, stay away from things like Facebook and stuff. It will completely distract you, like while you're doing your work. Turn off your phone. Those types of things do become a distraction. I'm a night owl, so one thing I loved about it was I could do work in the dead of night. I could do work at like 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. That's one thing that I really liked. So I'm trying to think if there's anything else I wanted to let you guys know about. Yeah, I guess that's pretty much it. If you guys have any questions, let me know in the bar below. I know a couple of people who have done online courses. Some people said they would never do it again, and others like myself, to be at the school that I'm at right now, it's the only way. I would still do it if I went to, you know, a brick and mortar college. Then I would just, I guess I can't really use that term now that I think about it, because it is. But if I had done college the way where, you know, you're going to your classes physically, I would still do some classes online. So I really like it. I think it's been great. It is a lot harder from what people tell me, and it has been very hard. Just as long as you have a student planner and you're really good at managing your time, I think you'll be fine. Again, any questions, please don't hesitate to message me or leave comments so other people can also reply back. I'm going to leave that list of the school supplies I think you guys should get in the description bar, and I will see you guys soon, and good luck with this year's school. Yeah, that was stupid. So yeah, I will leave the shopping list, school supplies list in the bottom bar below, and I will see you guys soon. Bye.